Hello, everyone. So, as promised, I am jumping on as information is coming in and I am going to share it with you. So, this has been happening over the last few days. And if you are into solving equations or taking numbers and reading them as universal language or messages, I'm going to invite you to go and grab a piece of paper. And I'm going to share the equation that Rob has been giving me. And together we can see kind of what the message is. So I've been playing with this over and over. And last night, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I kept going through it all. And I just started, you know what? Get on YouTube, put it out there, and see if others can reflect the message and we can do it together. So, the first message with it, so this actually happened the other day. I was at my daughter's watching her little kitties, and I was walking up the stairs from working out, and I could like literally feel Rob coming in. My song for him, or one, he has two, but one of them is I Will Wait from Mumford and Sons. And if you haven't heard that song, you should go listen to it. There's this one part where he talks about like it's like releasing the flesh and fixing the eyes and releasing from the lies. And then the next one he goes into, and the song, and I may not be getting this perfect, so if I'm not, I apologize. But and then it goes into this place where it goes, raise my hands, paint my spirit gold, and just like bow my head, feel my heart slow. And that song came in on my Spotify right when I felt him. And it was the first time I felt him more in a physical way, like he was right there with me. And so that was kind of exciting. I forgot how much it felt really good to have more of his physical presence and not just his spiritual presence. So in that moment, I was like, okay, something is happening because I have not felt him this way since he passed away, which was going to be 10 years May 1st. So we're coming up on a big anniversary for him. And that's when I started to think, okay, there's more to this than what I think. He's coming in as in physical form. He's playing that song. I'm immediately going to those verses. And so of course I start kind of thinking, okay, what has been my journey with him in just these last few days? There's like this little gnat in here. They're coming from my plant that I have right above me. And okay, so sorry about that. I got distracted. Okay, so it's going to be 10 years. And so if you want to write that down, if you have your pen and paper, write that down. So we have 10 years. And then we have the last few years has been about spreading his ashes. I actually went 7 years without spreading his ashes. I spread it a little bit, like 2 times, and then I knew, okay, stop doing it. There's something bigger for this. So don't just spread them to spread them. And so that happened. For some of you, it did the DMT journey with me back in 2022. No, 2023. And then we ended it last year. So it started in a 7 year. Well, ironically, Rob was a 7. So do the 7 and the 7. So we were in a 7 and a 7 year. We finished the journey last year in 2024. And that was an 8 year, and Rob is an 8. So you're seeing this. And now we're going into a 9 year. Rob is a 9. He'll be in a 9 this year. And Okay, so let me just back up. So let's just go ahead and break these down. So the 7 and the 7 is a 5. The 8 and the 8 is a 7. And of course, the 9 and reflex 9 is a 9. So if you add those up, so it's 7, so it's a 3. Okay. Last night, when I was laying in bed, what was shown to me is that I have always been a year behind him. But before I go on, I want to look at the day that he chose to die. I knew that he was going to die on a 5 day, not including the year. And last night he told me why. He said, I wanted to be in a 5 so I could be in that freedom and transition space regardless of the year. So he'll always be a 5 because he died on wait, is that right? Yeah, on May 5th. Wait, why do I feel like that's not right? That's not right. Okay, so he died on May 5th, which would have been a 6 day. Wait, I'm sorry, May 1st. So that maybe it is. Okay. So, all right, so this is the part where I need help deciphering. Okay, so that was a 6. He died in 2015, which is a 6, 7, 8 plus 6, which is 14, which is the 5. So it did include the year. Okay, so that was my whole theory. So never mind on that. Okay, so he died in a 5 on a 5 day, including the year. The journey adds up to a 3, which equals an 8. So my birth date is always exactly 1 year behind him. So, for instance, when we started the journey, I was in a 6, the universe was in a 7, Rob was in a 7. When we finished the journey, I was in a 7, the universe was in an 8, and Rob was in an 8. So now I'm in an 8, the universe is in a 9, and Rob is in a 9. So if you add up my numbers with that, I hope that this is interesting to you guys. If it's not, you can just go ahead and stop watching. But if you're doing this together with me, do 7 plus 6 is a 4. And then it would be, oh, yeah, 7. And then 8 plus 7 is 16, 17. Wait, yeah, a 6. And then an 8 plus a 9 is an 8. And then we'll add those up. That's a 1. So it's a 9. Okay, so now we have 9, 3, and an 8. This is the message I feel like is coming through. So this is going to be, oh, I have 2 more things to say. So this is going to be the 10th year. He passed away on a 5. This would be a 6 because if you add May 1st to the 9th year, that would be a 6. So I'm just going to write that down. He died on a 5. And then he would have turned 56 this year, which is an 11. Okay, so now we have the code. You ready? So write it down. 9386511. I'm going to sit with this a little bit more, but I'll read the code right now. Okay, one more thing. Sorry, I'm just getting it. So the other thing that I'm seeing is that the universe is in a 9. And that's the 9 reflects 9, like, right? So this is why this year is so important. And I really want to spend a lot of time in receiving these messages because this is the year to ascend beyond the matrix. It is the year that we ascend past what we experience as the body, as our reality, as the way we process through the mind. And we're not going to have that happen through the way our mind is programmed now. And one of the most fascinating ways that I have always received information, I mean, this is literally, you guys, what I'm doing right now is literally how I received the alchemy of Ormus. I got all these little numbers and all these things, and I somehow figured it out. So we're going to figure this out. I know we are, and I always do. Same thing happened with Vale when he gave me the equation for cell ascension. It was a little more complex than this because there were actual equations and images and that sort of thing. But the point being is that if we sit with this information for long enough, we're always given something that is so profound. So with this code, we're starting with the 9, which we're in a 9-year, mastering the matrix. It's holding the reflection of everything as divine. Years ago, this was in 2020, I got the message to break the God code. And I was like, what the heck does that even mean? And that is when I was given the equation of the God sphere. And if you guys don't know the God sphere and you're going to take the mastering consciousness, you're going to learn about the God sphere. It is really will blow your mind when you really sit in the intelligence of what the God sphere is. So we are in an opportunity to completely break the God code, you guys. And what that means is break out of that we are a reflection of source instead of an expression of source, meaning that source is not outside of us. It is transcribed in our DNA. And when we start to operate within this operating system, we turn on and we become an extension or an expression of source. All right, so then we're moving into the 3. So we have the 9 and the 3. So 3 is the architect. It's the ability to see what's around you. And you know what I'm getting is the architect is what we're doing right now. We're literally deciphering this code. So that's part of being an architect, because you think about an architect, they have to take all this stuff and make it make sense. So I'm seeing like we have all these puzzle pieces and we're not really sure what it's saying yet. But as we put each piece together, it creates the message so that we can see it clearly, but every piece has to come together before it's fully actualized. Then we move into the 8, which is that eternal energy. You know, it's interesting because when when I first started his journey, it was all about transcending his ashes. It was taking carbon and bringing it into frequency. And we did that through activating the DNA of the body. I'm going to do another journey coming up. I can feel it coming. And I started on the 7, and then he ended the last ash that I did of his was on an 8-year, which is eternity. So this is coming in right here. So that eternal energy. Then we're moving into the 6, which is ascending the DNA. The 5 is the transition into the 11. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, so mastering the God sphere to receive the message or the clarity of eternal DNA or eternal body, to shift from the 9 to the 11 to break the God code. Okay. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. And this was fun just having you here and listening. Tell me if you are getting anything different, because I definitely want to do this together. And this is really also where I'm feeling another journey coming on, because together we went on this treasure hunt of ascending the body together and doing it through the movements and ascending the nutrients and just the way that we are operating. So it's time to take it from that 2-strand to the 12-strand. And I feel another level of that coming and having it be really powerful. All right, my lovelies, I will end it here. And thanks for bearing with me as I stumbled through that. And I hope you have an amazing day. You know what? Why don't we code before we get off? Let's code with this so that we're holding the code. So if you have your copper card, grab your copper card. And it's not, I'm going to grab these codes out. So there's the 8, the 3, the 5. So crazy. I almost had these like in perfect order already. The 11, the 6, and I need the 9 and the 9. Okay. So let's just code. So if you have the copper card, I would press on each code. I'm going to hold these up so I won't, well, maybe I can do both. All right. So code number 9. Okay, so let's just ask that we activate this divine code for clarity, guidance, and allowing ourselves to break out of the 9, the repeated cycle, and into the 11. So just feeling that 9 as it activates in every cell of our bodies, feeling the mastery over the illusion. And then we are activating code number 3. Feeling that as it activates, you can see it spinning in your pineal gland. And we're going to release the frequency of the architect, the ability to see through the illusion, to gather or receive the information of the pathway of how to build the frequency of that eternal body, eternal existence within our divine operating system. And then the 8, we'll activate the 8. I'm getting such big chills. Okay, so activating the 8, bringing it into the pineal gland, allowing it to spin. Releasing that frequency of abundance, flow, and eternal, the infinite experience. And then we'll activate the 6th, abundance, flow, and eternal frequencies activating and ascending the DNA, allowing the body to hold the highest level or the 12-strand DNA operating system, reprogramming the body from the 2-strand to the 12-strand, and allowing that architect or the 3 to be a part of this experience. And then we'll create that shift from the 9. Shifting from the 9 into the 11. Feeling that frequency activate as we transcend beyond the God sphere into the mastery of experiencing 100% divine potential. Okay, that was amazing. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought of that. Okay, I love you guys so much. We'll see you.